Blake Lively is under the fiercest spotlight of her life right now, and there's no sugarcoating the chaos. Word on the street says she orchestrated a nasty smear campaign against her co-star Justin Baldoni during the filming of It Ends With Us. People are calling it a brutal betrayal, and the alleged details make Hollywood's usual scandals look tame. Headlines scream about her backroom deals, covert leaks, and shady media tip-offs.
I'm gonna need you to pay attention because this is complicated, but worth it, I promise.
All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally, to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard. The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay?
I told you a few days ago that Justin Baldoni is suing his former publicist, Stephanie Jones. He is alleging defamation amongst other claims, and Stephanie actually sued him first for breach of contract and other claims.
This fiasco is the talk of every gossip blog, from coast to coast, and it's splitting fan groups right down the middle. Some say she's a cunning mastermind who wanted to sideline Baldoni's popularity. Others think he's just stirring the pot out of revenge, but make no mistake,
she was upset that he left her PR agency to go with his now publicist, Jen Abel, who used to work at Jones Works under Stephanie Jones.
From Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is when, despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years. She's best friends with Blake Lively. Ryan and Blake and two other of her friends all staged a mass unfollowing of Joe Alwyn like they were 13 years old. Okay, Ryan, you're 48 years old. Grow up. Literally.
Abel, his current publicist, is named in the lawsuit against Baldoni by his former co-star and plantation princess, Blake Lively.
The accusations flying around are colossal, and they're hitting Lively's reputation like an unstoppable wrecking ball. That's not even the half of it. Pundits claim Lively didn't hesitate to whisper damning stories to top newspapers and entertainment sites. She allegedly had phone calls, secret messages, and off-the-record talks to tarnish Baldoni's name. If the sources are correct, she played a game of chess while everyone else was merely rolling cameras.
Also included in the lawsuit that she brought against him is his production company, his producing partner, the billionaire co-founder who's paying all the legal bills, his crisis PR expert, and the digital guru whom we don't know really what he does.
Grow up. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni. All of the evidence points.
And sued her husband, and her publicist, Leslie Sloan. Stephanie Jones has quite a reputation, was not having it, tried to get her to stay unsuccessfully, and then before she was due to leave, she fired her and took her laptop and took her cell phone.
She insisted on painting Baldoni as a nightmare to work with, fueling suspicions that he was the root cause of on-set friction. Nobody can ignore the ferocity of these claims. Fans are shocked. Rivals are smug, and the internet is having a field day with every new scrap of intel. But this is only the beginning of the meltdown, because once Perez Hilton jumped into the fray, dropping his signature explosive commentary,
then Baldoni's complaint alleges that Stephanie Jones, on the very same day she fired Jen Abel, gave her publicist, Leslie Sloan, all of Jen Abel's text message, filed a new motion that has shaken things up, filed paperwork detailing her answer to the hair care professional's first amended complaint, as well as a third-party complaint against Stephanie Jones and Jones Works.
The rumor mill went into overdrive. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know exactly how much dirt Lively had on Baldoni and why she was so desperate to ruin him. Was it personal animosity? Did it stem from creative clashes? Was there some hush-hush vendetta that only a select few insiders understood? The details remain murky, but the buzz is electric. People are sounding off on social media, defending Baldoni, slamming Lively, or picking apart every ambiguous piece of gossip that seeps out. And here's the kicker. As more details surfaced, it became apparent that this was never a simple backstage tiff. Rumor has it that Lively's alleged sabotage plan was in motion long before the cameras rolled for It Ends With Us. Sources claim she meticulously strategized her approach, waiting for the perfect moment to leak her narratives. Yet the rumor is that she disguised her involvement with innocent press interviews and polite red carpet banter, all while feeding major outlets the intel they craved behind closed doors. Now, with so many allegations swirling, the big question is, who's telling the truth and who's spinning tall tales for a quick headline? Let's peel back the layers on these jaw-dropping accusations. According to Perez Hilton's inside sources, Lively has been pegged as the puppet master. She supposedly played the media like a violin, orchestrating a wave of negative coverage that portrayed Baldoni as problematic, unprofessional, and borderline toxic. Hilton insists there's proof of direct phone calls where Lively reportedly spilled personal details about Baldoni's temperament, rumored outbursts on set, and questionable offset behavior. Several celebrity outlets seized on these tidbits. They ran stories about how Baldoni was difficult to direct, refused to collaborate, or had hidden agendas about overshadowing Lively. The crazy part is that many assumed these leaks came from a nameless source close to the production. But once Hilton spoke, it was like a code got cracked. All roads led back to Lively. Allegedly, she was the one feeding salacious tidbits to get the public questioning Baldoni's decency. This rumor stung fans who once adored Lively's sweet demeanor. She was the polished star, the witty talk show guest, the Instagram charmer. But now, these bombshell claims paint a far more cunning individual, someone ready to do whatever it takes to control the Hollywood narrative. People can't stop talking about it on Twitter, Instagram, and beyond. Doubters say it's made-up drama. Supporters say if there's smoke, there's fire, but that's not the end of the revelations. Whispers suggest that Lively didn't just rely on her own cunning. She supposedly roped in PR reps, brand managers, and a host of influential insiders to push certain narratives onto gossip sites. The rumor contends that every time Baldoni tried to defend himself or clear the air, new rumors would pop up, painting him as an even bigger villain. A domino effect of negativity, all orchestrated behind the scenes. And if you think that's outrageous, wait until you hear about the scorching allegations of on-set tension that shattered any chance of a friendly rap party. Production sources say tensions between Lively and Baldoni simmered from day one. Word is, Lively insisted on script changes that favored her role, overshadowing Baldoni's character arcs in crucial scenes. Whenever Baldoni tried to address these shifts, Lively supposedly lashed out with stinging remarks, intensifying the strain. Insiders claim the atmosphere grew so bad that crew members dreaded seeing them together. Lively, revered by many for her comedic timing and bright personality, apparently started micromanaging everything from set decor to hair and makeup choices. Baldoni was said to be deeply frustrated, but tried to maintain professionalism. That changed the moment rumors about him being hard to work with started swirling. He suspected sabotage from within. There's talk of shouting matches that rattled the production. One unconfirmed story suggests Lively accused Baldoni of hogging the spotlight when they attended a major promotional event. Another rumor says Baldoni confronted Lively's team backstage, demanding they stop planting negative press about him. The tension allegedly escalated to the point that producers had to schedule separate press interviews for the two leads. The atmosphere got so toxic that even side cast members took notice. Some posted cryptic social media messages about fake alliances and two-faced co-stars. Speculation ran wild. Were they referencing Lively, Baldoni, both? Meanwhile, fans who idolized them hoped it was all overblown. Unfortunately, the drama was only just beginning. Next came lawsuits upon lawsuits, shaking up an industry that thrives on damage control. The moment lawyers got involved, everything went nuclear. Lively made a bold move by filing a formal complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, claiming Baldoni fostered a hostile work environment. She cited incidents of alleged sexual harassment, though specifics remain hush-hush. Her camp insisted the situation was urgent enough to involve the authorities, sparking a media firestorm. Baldoni responded with a legal bombshell of his own, slamming the New York Times with a colossal $250 million libel suit. He declared that many of the stories painting him as a tyrant were patently false, and that the Times had recklessly published unverified claims. Observers called it an unprecedented move, especially since major publications usually stand by their journalism or issue retractions quietly. But Baldoni doubled down. He wanted a very public court battle to clear his name. Then came the real shocker. Baldoni turned around and sued Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and even Lively's publicist for a staggering $400 million. Yes, you read that right. He accused them of defamation, blackmail, and planting manufactured stories. If that figure isn't jaw-dropping enough, the details swirling around the lawsuit certainly are. Documents hint at text messages between Lively and certain reporters, carefully timed to coincide with Baldoni's promotional events. Hollywood watchers say, if these allegations hold water, it could blow the lid off a whole new level of cunning PR warfare in Tinseltown. People are now speculating about phone records, NDA breaches, and hush money. It's turning into a modern-day soap opera that merges the worlds of glitzy premieres and brutal legal depositions. And in the midst of all this chaos, an unexpected friend found herself in the crossfire, making everything even more explosive. Taylor Swift, megastar, singer, and close friend to Blake Lively, accidentally wound up in this maelstrom. According to rumor, legal documents mentioned Swift in passing, implying she had prior knowledge of Lively's alleged antics, or at least was aware of the swirling tension between Lively and Baldoni. Swift apparently didn't appreciate being dragged into someone else's meltdown. The gossip columns went crazy, suggesting Swift was furious at Lively for letting this fiasco intrude on her personal space. Some said Swift demanded to be left out of any potential depositions or media statements. But you know how the rumor mill works. It painted Swift as betrayed or saddened, implying that her tight-knit bond with Lively took a massive hit. Swift's fans, never ones to keep quiet, added their own theories. They posted recaps of previous sightings of Swift and Lively, analyzing body language for hidden tension. Some stans claimed Swift gave cryptic interviews about loyalty and friendships that seemed suspiciously timed. The frenzy ballooned, to the point that Swift had to issue a subtle denial, clarifying she wasn't against Lively or pushing for any condemnation. But let's face it, the damage was done. The lawsuits had hammered cracks into relationships once considered rock solid. Everyone wondered, if Swift and Lively can't keep their personal bond intact during a storm like this, what's next? Well, what came next was a bold statement from Adam Munshine, an actor from It Ends With Us, who refused to remain a silent bystander. Adam Munshine played Dr. Dunbar in It Ends With Us, but he's making bigger waves off-screen than he ever did on it. He came forward with a fiery rebuttal to Lively's depiction of the production environment, claiming her account was riddled with exaggerations and half-truths. Munshine insisted Lively's stories about an uncomfortable, unprofessional setting during certain scenes were flat-out wrong, and he's not afraid to testify in court if it comes to that. His statement electrified fans who were already on the fence about Lively's claims. Why would a fellow actor risk industry backlash by challenging a prominent star? Munshine delivered his explanation. He felt a responsibility to uphold the truth, especially when it involved serious allegations that could jeopardize careers. He also hinted that Lively's version of events might be manipulated to gain sympathy or fuel the lawsuits. This testimony gained traction online, with supporters applauding Munshine's courage and skeptics dismissing him as an opportunist seeking attention. Some wondered if Baldoni's team had nudged Munshine to speak out. Others argued Munshine might be looking for a moral high ground by defending a co-star he found wrongly maligned. Either way, his words made one thing crystal clear: not. Everyone in the cast agreed with Lively's portrayal of how filming went down. But the real jaw-dropper is what observers say this rift could mean for Lively's credibility in court. If Munshine stands by his story under oath, Lively's entire harassment complaint could face serious skepticism. Suddenly, people are rethinking which side they believe. And that reevaluation only intensified as more revelations about Lively's alleged behind-the-scenes alliances surfaced. When controversy hits, new rumors tend to spawn overnight. In this case, speculation spread that Lively was so determined to sabotage Baldoni because she feared his character might overshadow hers in It Ends With Us. Some fans pointed to social media analytics, claiming Baldoni's posts about the film garnered higher engagement than Lively's. Petty? Possibly. But this is Hollywood, where star power often comes down to who's trending on any given day. Others whispered about a deeper personal vendetta, linking it to an incident before the film's production. There's chatter that Lively felt slighted by Baldoni during a major industry gala. Allegedly, he overshadowed her red carpet moment and monopolized a critical conversation with key producers. Lively was supposedly livid, believing Baldoni was edging her out of potential deals. Did she vow revenge? Gossip sites say it's plausible, especially considering how swiftly negative coverage of Baldoni surfaced once cameras rolled. Then there's the tidbit about brand endorsements. Both Lively and Baldoni had separate deals with big fashion houses and lifestyle brands. Some insiders hint that a high-stakes contract was on the line, and whichever star emerged as the public favorite could secure a multi-million-dollar deal post-release. If Lively indeed orchestrated a smear, it could have been a strategic move to keep the brand for herself. The layers of intrigue are endless. A-listers are said to have taken sides. One rumor claims Ryan Reynolds quietly supports Lively but has cautioned her to stay away from direct confrontation, fearing major financial losses. Another rumor holds that certain Hollywood elites advised Baldoni to settle quietly and salvage his reputation. But from the looks of it, quiet settlement isn't in the cards. The drama barrels forward, overshadowing all attempts at hush-hush negotiations. What does all this mean for Lively and Baldoni's futures? For Lively, the once universally adored star, it might erode her goodwill in an industry that values constant reinvention. If a court finds any truth to these sabotage allegations, she risks losing brand deals, roles, and the trust of collaborators who fear her behind-the-scenes tactics. Even among fans, a seed of doubt has already been planted, and that's hard to uproot. Baldoni, meanwhile, is gambling big on the legal front. If he wins, he'll not only redeem himself, but also stand to gain a colossal payday. He could reemerge as a figure who toppled powerful opponents through sheer determination and truth. But if he loses, his public image might be beyond repair, leaving him labeled as the troublesome actor Lively's alleged leaks described. Then there's the swirling question: could this fiasco shape future policies on set? Some suggest mandatory third-party mediators could become standard in big Hollywood productions, ensuring that personal grudges don't derail entire projects. It's a bizarre possibility in an industry built on glamour and secrecy. But after this meltdown, nothing seems off the table. But here's one thing we can say for certain: this feud has escalated from a rumor-laced spat into a nuclear-level war, and neither side seems ready to stand down. The story is evolving by the hour. One day, a new piece of evidence might emerge that abruptly ends the madness. Or maybe we're just in the opening act of a drama that will change how Hollywood's power players deal with competition and conflict. Blake Lively's alleged betrayal, Justin Baldoni's massive counterstrike, Taylor Swift's unexpected involvement. Each element is a puzzle piece in a sprawling Hollywood saga. And while we may never see the full picture, the drama has already proven one fact: when stars clash behind the scenes, the impact rattles the entire industry. No matter how you spin it, this fiasco is bigger than just a single scandal. It's a cautionary tale, a symbol of how stardom can morph into a battlefield, a fierce reminder that nothing in Hollywood is ever as polished as it seems.